Hey everybody! So, Santa Maria River and the levee. And one of the things that happened today is as I was driving to work, I actually went through multiple areas where there was water that came up almost to the base of my car door. And one of the things I wanted to share with people is I don't know if anybody really realizes, but Santa Maria was actually built in a river. As a matter of fact, Main Street, even as little as a few years ago, would flood so much that you really couldn't even drive down it. Now, the city has taken precautions to make certain that that flooding doesn't happen anymore, but at the same time, what was really interesting is that whenever we have large rainfalls, because of the way our city is set up, we actually have areas that are prone to flooding. So if you happen to have a property that is located north of the Betaravia Road, that actually is an area that once was an active river until they put the levee in. The neat thing about having the levee is that that redirects all the water so that that way the levee expands from the far east of Santa Maria over through the far north of Santa Maria, redirecting the water so that it's no longer going to impact the housing in the areas. As a matter of fact, a couple years ago, they actually had to do extensive work on the levee because they were looking at, without that work being done, making more of Santa Maria have to have flood insurance and or have additional flood insurance. And the reason is because the levee was showing signs of wear. So they spent an awful lot of time and energy, actually, if many of you remember, just taking large steel plates and putting those down in so that that way the levee itself wasn't going to be impacted. The neat thing about this is that we end up having times like this where there's rain, and a lot of people don't quite understand what that could do. Now, the flood insurance is still required on certain properties, but not necessarily as much and or as expensive as it might possibly have been. Another thing that was really interesting, and I want to sort of mention this, is I had a client one time that I was taking around, and we take for granted the fact that we have all these different areas where water is redirected. There's one over by the Manami Center, there's some over by Dunlap School, there's other areas where all of the water that could potentially pool in the streets is redirected into these catch basins. Well, I actually had a client one time who was not from the area who thought that there were sinkholes all over the city of Santa Maria, not understanding that these were actually intentional holes that were designed in the way the city planners set it up to where water would be redirected to those areas. So I just thought I would mention it because of the time of year that we're having and all the rain we're having. So just a little bit of information and history on the city of Santa Maria, and also information on what our visitors might see when they come and see all these different areas of holes. So this is called Krista, OIC Real Estate Services, here to help you see your dreams come true. If you have any questions regarding flood insurance or earthquake insurance, give me a call. I've got resources that I'd be happy to share with you. As always, have an amazingly blessed day. Try and stay dry, and we're always here for you. Bye.